Dharma ki jai. Taking flowers in hand, we pray to Lord Ganesh, the remove of all obstacles, novel present or past or future. Hari Om Viganeshwaraya Varadaya Surapryanam Bhotaraya Sakalaya Jagadhitaya Naga Srutya Vibhushita Gauri Sutaya Gananath Namo Namaste. Om Gam Ganapataye Namah. Om Gam Ganapataye Namah. Om Gam Ganapataye Namah. Ganesha Bhagavani ki jai. We offer applause. We sprinkle water on all the ingredients and the oblations, praying for purification. Pavitra Pavitra Sarvavastam Gatopyoya Smarit Hundari Kaksha Sabahayam Tara Sujay. We ignite the flame in the diya. May Mahalakshmi be the Sakshi, the witness to our worship. Om Deepa Jyotir Para Brahma Deepa Jyotir Janadhara Deepo Haratame Papam Deepo Yam Prati Gretam Shubham Karotu Kalyanam Arogyam Sukhasamparam Mama Shatru Vinasha Deepa Jyotir Namostute. Om Sri Lakshmi Divye Namaha. We offer water as we wash the feet of Lord Ganesh. Om Padhyam Padhyam Samarpyami Snanam Snanam Samarpyami. Om Margyam Margyam Samarpyami. Gam Ganapataye Namaha. We offer Vasradhan, clothing. To you who have blessed us with the gift of clothing, O Bhagwan, we offer clothing in our worship. Ved Suktam Samayuktam Yajna Shama Samanvite Sarve Prade Deva Vasasi Prate Grehita. We adorn our murti with chandan and with perfume. May you illumine the pathway of our lives. May you rid us of lust and anger and hatred and jealousy and ego and pride. May you guide us onto the pathway of mukti, salvation. We beg of you, listen to our prayer. Om Chandanam Sulalitam Deva Kante Cham Tavare Gopa Sri Paridevi Jayate Gopala Churamani Tilakam Punyam Papanashanam Mapra Harite Nityam Chandanam Prati Gretam Chandanam Samarpayami. We offer perfume. Om Gandadwara Dura Darsham Nitya Pushpa Karishinim Ishwaram Tamaho Sri Gandadanam Samarpyami Gandadanam Prati Gretam. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Palimala Dravya. We offer hardi as an act of purification. We offer Sindhu, bring for mukti, salvation. Kumkumam Kantim Dibya Kamani Kamart Sambhava Kumkumam Architam Deva Prasiddha Purushottama. Om Gam Ganapataye Namah. Om Gam Ganapataye Namah.
Om Gam Ganapataye Namah.
Om Gam Ganapataye Namah.
Om Gam Ganapataye
Sindhuram Shobhanam Rakta Sobhagi Sukhavardhanam Sukran Kamaram Moksharam Cheva Sindhuram Prati Gretam Sindhuram Samarpyami. We offer Belva leaves, we offer neem leaves, we offer doop grass. Doop grass first. Praying Bhagwan, may you rid away all our troubles, all our problems, all distresses, we beg of you. Kandat Kandat Purohante Puruka Purushaspari Evanu Durve Pradanu Nashate Nachate Komaladanam Komaladanam Samarpyami. Gam Ganapataye Namah. Kasi Vasi Sivasinim Kalabhairo Pujatam Koti Kanya Mahadanam Belapatra Shivarpanam. Om Gam Ganapataye Namah. Ambe Ambike Ambalike Namaniyati Kastana Sasravadrakama Pil Savadrakama Pilavasinim. Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Gam Ganapataye Namah. Gam Ganapataye Namah. Pushpadan, we offer flowers. Om Malityadani Sugandhini Malityadani Ve Prabhu Mayatani Pujatam Pushpani Prati Gretam Pushpadanam Samarpyami. Karpura Gauram Karunavataram Sansari Saram Bhujagindraharam Sadavasantam Hidayarvinde Bhavam Bhavani Sehitam Namami. Pushpadanam Samarpyami. We wave the arti. Jai Ganesh Jai Ganesh Jai Ganesh Deva Mata Jaki Parvati Pita Mahadeva. Jai Ganesh Jai Ganesh Jai Ganesh Deva Mata Jaki Parvati Pita Mahadeva. माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा, माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा, गणेश भगवान की जय. Naivedyam, we offer Persad, the Lord Ganesh, the Persad that we prepared with faith, with love and with devotion. May you accept our humble offering, we beg of you. Om Brahmarpanam Brahmaved Brahmagano Brahmanahutam Brahmagateena Gantavyam Brahmakarma Samadhinam Naivedyam Nivedyami Naivedyam Samarpyami. Om Brahmarpanam Mamastu Krishnarpanam. Gam Ganapataye Namah, Gam Ganapataye Namah, Gam Ganapataye Namah. Naivedyam Samarpyami. We offer now supari and clove. Bring the Bhagwan, may you bless us with good health and longevity. We beg of you, ward away sickness and distresses from in our pathway. Pungi palmya deva nagabali dala yukta elal churnatam tambulam prati gretam tambulam samarpyami tambulam prati gretam. Gam ganapataye namaha. We offer drops of water. Om papoham papakarmam papatmam pundari kaksha trahimam pundari kaksha sarva papa haro hari. Dakshina Hidanya gharva samartatagre bhutasya jata patitikayasi saradharam pradhavimnava dakshina danam maham karkshe. Om Sri Vishnavi Namah. Mala. Om Sri Vishnavi Namah. मे कल्पितमासनं हिमचले स्नानं च दिव्याम्बरं नानारत्नविभूषितं मृगमडा मोडाङ्गितं चन्दनं जाके चम्पकबिल्वपत्ररचितं पुष्पं च धूपं तथा दीपं देवदयानिधि पशुपति रेकल्पितं गृहीताम्. ॐ गं गणपतये नमः. गणेश भगवान की जय. We join in expressions of welcome. ॐ गं गणपतये नमः. ॐ गं गणपतये नमः. ॐ गं गणपतये नमः. Om Gam Ganapataye Namah. Om Gam Ganapataye Namah. Om Gam Ganapataye Namah. Om Gam Ganapataye Namah. Om Gam Ganapataye Namah.
Officiating Vyas and spiritual leader of the Ganesh UTSAV Foundation, Pandit Sunil Seetahal Maharaj, our president, the executive and members of the Ganesh UTSAV Foundation, members of the media, both radio and television, devotees, Sitaram. On behalf of Panditji and the Ganesh UTSAV Foundation, it really is my pleasure to welcome you all this evening to the fourth night of our Ganesh Yagna. As Panditji would have mentioned, we will be here every night until Friday, that's Friday the 9th, when we will have our Visarjan ceremony down at Otaheite, at Grove Park in Otaheite. So do make yourselves as comfortable as possible as Panditji leads us on this spiritual journey through the pages of the Ganesh Puran, through discourse, kirtan and devotions. Sitaram and welcome again.
गणेश भगवान की जय. खड़ा हो जाए, आरती लीजिए. Let us all please stand as we join in the opening आरती. सुख करता दुख हरता वाता विघ्नाचे दूर्वे पूर्वे प्रेमन कामन कुते. जय देव जय देव देव जय देव जय मंगल मूर्ते. दर्शन माते मन कामन फूटे. जय देव जय देव जय देव जय देव जय देव जय देव. विघ्नेश्वर जय जय, जय लंबोदर जय जय, जय गणनायक जय सुखदायक जय जय गणेश जय जय। वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ती प्रचोदयात्, तन्नो देवा प्रचोदयात्। गजाननं भूतनादिसेवितं कपेतजम्बूफलसारभक्षितम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारकं नमामि विघ्नेश्वरपङ्कजम्। तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ती प्रचोदयात्, तन्नो देवा प्रचोदयात्। श्रद्धा से करते नमन गौरीपुत्र गणेश, भक्ति और कीर्तन करे लीजिए प्रभु आदेश। तत्कर्ताय विद्महे हस्तमुखाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ती प्रचोदयात्, तन्नो देवा प्रचोदयात्। waiting, let us all please be seated. My humble adorations and prostrations at the lotus-like feet of all our Brahman Devatas. To all of you who came from far and near, I say welcome. To all of those who are listening to us and to all of those who are viewing us, I say welcome as well on our various frequencies, radio and television. To our kind and our corporate sponsors, we express sentiments of gratitude and expressions of thanks. And so this evening, as we prepare our minds and our souls to listen to the beautiful katha, a very familiar one, but we have missed a little part of that katha. And so I have decided to reread one of our very familiar kathas that we're accustomed to listening to. This evening, in preparation for katha, Hajjot Binti Karo, let us bow our heads in prayer. Visualizing that most beautiful form of Lord Ganesh, talk to him tonight. Pray to him. Remove of all obstacles. Know of our present or past and our future. Bestow of all successes. Hey Gajanan, we bow to you with conviction from our hearts. Listen to our prayer. Listen to our prayer. Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirviganam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvara. Shivaranam Chaturбhuja Prasannawaranam Jai Sarva Vigano Pashantaye.
Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirviganam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvada.
Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvati Satike Sharanye Trayambaki Gauri Narayani Namostute.
Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirviganam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvada.
Karpura Gauram Karunavataram Samsari Saram Bhujagendrahar Saravasantam Hidayalalinne Pavam Bhavani Saitam Namani.
Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti
गणपतये नमः। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। वेद्यस्वरूपाय भक्तहराय सतीष्टसम्मुखदेहि पराय देहदेवाय लक्ष्महदाय गजाननं भजामं नमामि। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। मुनीन्द्रवक्ताय देहि विलोपाय सिद्धि बुद्धि सहिताय देवाय विज्ञानरूपाय दर्शाधिकाय भक्तायुक्ता भजाम्यमामि। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। ब्रह्मा एकं ब्रह्मानाशं ब्रह्मादित्यं ब्रह्मारूपं गजाननं भक्तयुतं वदेवा जगदीश्वरं देवं नमामि। गं गणपतये नमः। जगत्प्रणमाम जगदीश्वरेवा स्वरूपदेवा जगदीशदेवा अनन्तदेवा गणपतिरूपा भक्तायुक्तं देहि भजामि। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। न पृथ्वीरूप देहि पराय देहि स्वरूपाय मूर्ति अरूपा देवाय घोराय भक्तस्वरूपा गजनं न देवा गणनं प्रणमामि। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। विश्वकर्माय देहि पराय देहि विश्वा देहि अनन्ता गणनाः देवा परमाय भुक्ता गजानं भक्त नमामि। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। गुणेश्वं नित्यस्वरूपं विद्यासंसारं नित्यस्वरूपं नाबुद्धिदेवा मायं वदेया सुदेहदेवा हस्ताप्नमामि। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। गजाननं भक्तयुक्तं भजामि हस्तादेवा गणेशपाहि देहि पाहि पाहि प्रभुदे भक्तदेवा भक्तप्नमामि। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। यत्र देवाय देहि अनन्ता कामय सर्वा इदं भजामि असतो देहा अंशं देवा गजानं भक्त नमामि। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। सुधीर्भक्ता दानाय देवा शरणं दे अंकारतारम् अधिकारभाव देहि भक्तं गजानं भक्त नमामि। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। सुरेन्द्र सततं देवा सुरेन्द्र देहि प्रमाणि शरणं देवा शरणं देवा शरणं देवा अनन्तं भजामि। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। सुख आनन्दा मित्रस्वरूपा देहि देवा दर्शन देवा देवस्य लाये देहि स्वरूपा गजनं भक्त देहि प्रणमामि। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। चतुर्भुजा हंसा वा देहि विद्या धर्मा देवा अंकारनाथा बहुरा देवा गजानं भक्त भजामि। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। रविस्वरूपं रविभक्तहीनं हरिस्वरूपं हरिभक्तदेवं शिवस्वरूपं शिवं भजामि भजनं भक्त भक्त नमामि। शक्तिस्वरूपं शक्तिदेवं परमं देवा ईशं भवामि। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। गणेश भगवान की जय। Sing with me, everybody. जननी माँ जय जग जननी माँ
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 प्रेम वाहिनी माँ
प्रेम वाहिनी माँ
प्रेम वाहिनी माँ
प्रेम वाहिनी माँ
ज्ञान वाहिनी माँ
ज्ञान वाहिनी माँ
जननी माँ जय जग जननी माँ
जननी माँ जय जग जननी माँ
जगदोदारिणी माँ
जगदोधारिणी माँ
जगदोदारिणी माँ
जगदोधारिणी माँ
काली कपालिनी माँ
काली कपालिनी माँ
जननी माँ जय जग जननी माँ
जननी माँ जय जग जननी माँ
The Ganesh Puran gives an elaborate explanation as to what happens when we do kirtan, when you're clapping your hands. And the Ganesh Puran says that when you clap your hands, the effect that comes from this is that you're expelling your energies, recharging your body and awakening your very existence. The Ganesh Puran says that nobody is without problems, nobody is without distress, nobody is without sickness, and nobody is without torment mentally and otherwise. Nobody is freed from that. But the Ganesh Puran says that just like birds, when they sit on a tree and you clap your hand, the birds fly away. So too, when you clap your hands, your trouble flee, they go away. Especially when the name of Bhagwan is being chanted. How much better of an explanation do we need? How much more encouragement do we need to take our hands and clap them when the kirtan is happening? If you like trouble, you will sit down and put your hand down. But if you want to get rid of your troubles, then you will clap your hands. Do you know? In the yajna, if somebody gets up to dance, all of a sudden they're mad. But in a party, if they get up to dance, they say, you is the only one, enjoy yourself. You is the only one, dance and enjoy yourself. Huh? You well enjoy yourself. You get your money worth. Well, this evening, get your bhakti worth. Get your fill of devotion this evening through your clapping and through your singing and through your kirtan. There are several different forms of worship. Listening is one form of worship. Singing is one form of worship. But basking in the glories of bhakti is another great form of worship. Getting lost in devotion. This evening when you clap, I want you to clap away your troubles and clap away your problems and clap away your distress. And if you're afraid the person next to you will laugh at you, close your eye. They wouldn't see you. And you wouldn't see them either. When it comes to worship, nobody should prevent you from expressing yourself the way you want to express yourself. I have news for you. You think if you sing or you think if you clap, they'll think you're crazy. You didn't have to do any of those things. They still think you're crazy. And that's the truth. We are all Trinidadians. We look at people and we just look at them and say, how she so mad? How he looking so? And we form a conclusion in our mind. 99.9.9.9% of the time, the people we form the wrong conclusions of. When we get to know them, we realize that, it is not what we thought. This evening, as we sing the praises of the Divine Goddess, I want you to clap your hands and sing with me as we eulogize Devi Mata. Lord Ganesh becomes happy when we pray to Devi Mata. Sing with me this evening, everyone. Janani Ma, Jai Jagat Janani Ma. Janani Ma, Jai Jagat Janani Ma. Prem Vahini Ma. Prem Vahini Ma. Jan Vahini Ma. Janani Ma, Jai Jagat Janani Ma. Janani Ma, Jai Jagat Janani Ma. Jagadodari Ma. Jagadodari Ma. Kalikamalini Ma. Janani Ma, Jai Jagat Janani Ma. Janani Ma, Jai Jagat Janani Ma. Janani Ma, Jai Jagat Janani Ma. Jagadamba Mata ki, Jagadamba Mata ki. Ganapati Bappa, Ganapati Bappa, Ganapati Bappa. Janani Ma, Jai Jagat Janani Ma. Janani Ma, Jai Jagat Janani Ma. Janani Ma, Jai Jagat Janani Ma. Jai Jagat Janani Ma. Jai Jagat Janani Ma. Jai Jagat Janani Ma. Janani Ma, Jai Jagat Janani Ma. Janani Ma, Jai Jagat Janani Ma. Tonight the Katha begins to tell us, as we put our hands together, we listen. Om Viganeshwaraya Varudaya Surapranam Bhutaraya Sakalaya Jagatita Naga Surtege Vibhushita Gauri Sutaya Gananath Namo Namaste. भगवान इंद्र की क्रोधित उन्होंने का तुरंत चोर मना करने वाली श्राप्तियां ही मोशक बना करने वाली देवतों का पीर उपतन करने वाली ओम गम गणपतये नमः जननी मां जय जग जननी मां जननी मां जय जग जननी मां The Katha begins by saying, at one time there was a great meeting And this meeting was among all the saints and all the sages. Where can you find a saint? Hello? Where can you find a saint? Where can you find a sage? In Trinidad, there is a plant called sage. Huh? Would you consider yourself to be a saint or a sage? How saintly are you? How sage-like are you? Are you a saint? Shake your head this way. Are you a sage? Shake your head this way. But you're on the pathway aspiring to be like a saint, a sage, isn't it? But every one of us, every saint and every sage had a past, isn't it? And you have to start somewhere. You can't live in the past forever. You can't think of the past forever. You have to forge forward. And it is important to make positive changes. It is important to climb the ladder of spirituality, not only the ladder of physical growth and wealth, but the ladder of spirituality. It is important to begin climbing. The minute you begin to climb, you know what the beings around you say? We'll give you a janeu. You only in prayers. Huh? You know what they say? You want no time for nobody. You only like the pundit. Huh? You know what they say? They say, well, we would invite you, but we know you is a pujari. So we didn't invite you because you only fasting. Huh? And they begin to condemn and criticize you. And they find a fault with you because you have made God a part of your life. Well, I want to tell you, anybody who finds a fault with you because God is a part of your life, anything they say to you, be like the baji leaf. You know when the water falls, what happens? Never allow it to enter into you. Allow it to just roll off. And in your mind, say a little prayer for them. Because in the end, when all is said and all is done, no party, no fete, no line, no social gathering will help your soul. It is the many times that you listen to the Lord's name will help your soul. It is the many times that you took your feet and you went to the places of worship that will help your soul. Always remember that. But do you know there are many people who come, but they come with the wrong intention? They don't come to pray. They come to see, what's she wearing? They come to see who doing what, who eating what, who drinking what, who packing what. And everybody's intention is totally different. Anytime your intention is not bhakti, devotion and Bhagwan, then you have wasted your time. You have wasted your time. Well, I'm going to show my face, send a picture. If your face is what you want to show, send a picture. Because never go to show your face in the press. Go because you are not on the called list. You're on the chosen list. Many are called, but few are. Don't be called, be chosen. And once you're chosen, you'll be present all the time. Whether you want to or you don't want to, God has already placed you on that chosen list. And once there is devotion, pure bhakti, He will put you in the place. He'll put you in spots so that you'll be able to absorb like a sponge and to polish yourself to become a better being. All devatas, they were gathered, all saints and sages. And so they were all dressed in their finery. They were all dressed in their beautiful clothing. Before you came this evening, all of you went to the wardrobe and you had trouble in figuring out what to wear. Isn't it? It was a little confusing this evening. You know, Susan Mohit is here with us this evening. Every time you see her, she looks a little more amazing. I wonder if Rana has a share in the Indian Expo. I'm wondering how he copes. Finery. When you think about perfection and finery, you think about that lady. She comes to mind. And even though she wasn't here tonight, I would have still used her as the example. They were all dressed in their finery and their nice clothing, and among all the celestial beings, There were the Gandharvas and the Apsaras. Who are the Gandharvas? Who are the Apsaras? The Gandharvas, they're the musicians, the people who make the music. Huh? Sometimes music sounds like noise, you know. You all know? The Gandharvas and the Apsaras. The Apsaras were the dancers and the entertainers. And so the Gandharvas and the Apsaras, they were all present, playing the music and dancing and entertaining the saints and the sages in the gathering. But what will happen? Listen, it tells. Bhagwan Indra ka prarchana ka kaha hote, veed ka devta ka bhar, nikal ka dene wale, parro ka Bhagwan Indra ka नाश करने वाले, देखोर पर किया हो चोर, पृथ्वी देखोर पर गया कथा करने, गया कथा ही, ओम गम गणपतये नमः. They all sat, and there was a level of seriousness that was happening, for they were having conversations, important conversations, and they were all very serious. You ever look at somebody talking on the phone and the expression on their face could tell you that the conversation is a serious one? You ever looked at somebody talking on the phone and just by the way they're looking and replying, you say, man, hang up the phone, you're wasting time. Have you ever done that before? There was a level of seriousness in the gathering, and they were all very serious and having their discussions. It was serious business. But there was one Gandharva whose name was Krouncha. This Gandharva, he was creating great disturbance in the whole gathering. And you know how he was creating disturbance? Let me tell you how. Kaha jante ka prithvi gar ka, chorya ka parashar ka ashram जिसमें का क्रोच उन्हों का पृथ्वी पर देने वाले ओम गम गणपतये नमः. While everybody was involved in serious discussions, Krouncha, he was in conversation with an Apsara. He was talking to her, and so disturbing the whole meeting. They were having their own meeting. Ever went to a meeting and there is a meeting in the meeting? Ever had a group and there is a group in the group? And that group want to dictate what should happen, but that group have no power, no authority. Yeah? So the followers of the second group are blind followers because they're following no good leadership. And what will happen? Nothing will happen. That's the whole thing. It says now having a different discussion with an Apsara. It says this aggravated Lord Indra, because Lord Indra invited everybody to come to have the discussion, but he was being disturbed all the time. Have you ever tried to have a conversation with a person who will not allow you to talk? Hello? Have you ever tried to have a conversation with a person who will not allow you to talk? And then after the conversation is done, they say, I tell you all that, and you ain't say a single word. And then you say, well, you ain't give me no time to talk. I didn't even get a chance to talk. I didn't get to say nothing. Lord Indra became very upset. And so Lord Indra gave a warning. He gave a warning. And giving this warning, it says, Krouncha ignored the warning totally and started to talk again. Lord Indra gave a second warning. And so Krouncha ignored the warning totally. Then Lord Indra stood up. And he said, Krouncha, you're disturbing the meeting. Can you remain quiet? And as Lord Indra sat back, Krouncha started to talk again. Maybe he was working OWTU. Because you have to give 3 warnings and then act, isn't it? Is it? It says, after being given these 3 warnings, Lord Indra became very upset, very angry. And Lord Indra gave an instruction. Bhagwan Indra ka dekor kaha, jisme ka nikal karne wali, dekor Bhagwan Indra ka nishar, unho ka pal chodya prithvi par dene wale. He summoned his servants. Throw him out. Throw him out of the heavens. And if he had to leave the heavens, then where will he have to go? Where will he have to go? They threw him out of the heavens and he came right down on the earth. But coming down on the earth, Lord Indra placed a shrap. He placed a curse on him. He says, you are very disrespectful and your mouth is working all the time. And so I put a curse on you. May you be transformed into that of a mouse. Now they take this mouse, crouch, and they throw him out of the heavens, and he fall on the earth. Ever had an encounter with a rat before? Is that a pleasant one? Hello? Is that a pleasant one? Crouch was thrown down on the earth. And now that Crouch was thrown down on the earth, what will happen? Listen, it tells us. Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai Jai.
Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai Jai.
Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai Jai. कहाँ जानते का पृथ्वी पर क्या होते चोर ऋषि पासर का आश्रम जिसमें का पहुंच करने वाले यहाँ भी उसके का अपराध का कोटि नमित करने वाले मिलन होते जय जय गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति जय जय
जय जय गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति जय जय.
Crouch was thrown down on the earth, and Crouch was not familiar with the earth, and so Crouch started to search for a place to live. And Crouch stumbled on the ashram, an ashram of a great being whose name was Parasar Rishi. And stumbling on the ashram, Crouch inhabited the ashram as his home. But inhabiting the ashram as his home, Crouch, he started creating trouble, and he became a nuisance. He was a pest, and so biting up everything and creating trouble. What it says, listen. Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai Jai.
जय जय गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति जय जय.
उन्होंने का अन्न दे वस्त्र, उन्हों का अग्नि का मोशक का रूनी करने वाले देखो और भोगी अपरंग करने वाले जिसमें का ऋषि पराशर नाथ का भगवान गणपति का पूजन देखो की रक्षा होते भगवान रक्षा होते करने वाले भगवान की गणेश अपने का परा करने वाले जिसमें का इसलिए का उन्हों का करने जय जय गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति जय जय.
जय जय गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति जय जय.
Crouch, now having the body of the mouse, Crouch started to eat all of the grains and he started to eat all of the clothing and he started to bite up parts of the ashram and Crouch started to create distress. Parasar Rishi, he tried his best to catch the mouse. Have you ever tried to catch a mouse before? Hello? Don't lie, you're impressed. Ever tried to catch a mouse before? Shake your head up and down. Huh? Try all sorts of things to get rid of the mouse, isn't it? Have you ever seen a mouse at home? How do you react to that? How do you react? How will you react to that? Just before COVID, I did a puja all the way on Chancellor Hill. And when they placed the Seetahal in the car, they placed the Seetahal in a nice box, papered nice and gold wrapper, and I can't see what is in it. And I said to them, let me open it because I want to give you some grain. She said, no, Baba, that's yours. We'll get a boil in our eye. You carry it. When you eat it, we will get blessed. Krishna Arpanam. They placed the box in the car. She said, when you go home, I only bought nice things for you. And so I want you to take your time and open the box and promise me you wouldn't give anybody. I said, okay, Mama, I'll carry it home and I wouldn't give anybody. I promise. Something, if you know me and anything about me, anything that requires lifting and carrying, and I don't do those things. But I'm so inquisitive, I want to know what the box has in it. So I lift the heavy box and I carry it upstairs and I put it on the kitchen counter. It is wrapped nice. And if you know anything about me too, I am not going to take my time and unwrap it. So I just rip it open. And as soon as I open the box, the rats say, here I am. Jump out the box and run somewhere in the kitchen, and I can't figure out where it went to. And in my mind, I'm saying, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. I go up on the counter and I'm standing up and looking for the rat. And my aunt say, that is a little rat and you is a big scary. That little rat can't do you nothing, but you better get rid of it. I look everywhere and I can't find it. Everywhere. I'm looking everywhere. I'm unable to find it. We put the trap, we put the sticky bait, we put the pillet, anything they say to put, I'm putting. Maybe about 3 or 4 days after, I'm going to sleep and I put on the light and the rat on my bed. In the middle of the bed. I run to catch it, but now I'm thinking, should I hold it? What should I do? And the rat see me and take off again. We both moved out of the house. My aunt and I, we both moved out of the house. And the pest control came and I don't know what happened, and I never saw the rat after that. God forgive me, it was not me. But I don't know what happened to the rat after that. Tonight, imagine the chaos that Krouncha, this mouse, is creating in the ashram of Parashar Rishi. Parashar Rishi is trying to catch the mouse. I don't think that he has the sticky trap that we have or any of the modern things that we are using to catch. So it means that he has to chase after. Think about what that will be like. And so unable to, Parashar Rishi started to pray. And he started to pray to Lord Ganesh. Lord Ganesh, who is the remover of all obstacles, he has an obstacle. He has a problem. He has a situation. And praying to Lord Ganesh, what will happen? Something happens. Listen, it answers. Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai Jai.
Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai Jai.
Ganapati Vena Vinashanahari, Ganapati Vena Vinashanahari.
Ganapati Vena Vinashanahari, Ganapati Vena Vinashanahari.
Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai Jai.
Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai Jai.
भगवान गणेश का प्रकट होते करने वाले देखो, जिसने का क्रोच गंधर्वा का बना चलते, देखते का चूत कुश का हिरण्या का गए गणेश तोर ब्रह्म हित का करने वाली, पूछने का रक्षा रक्षा हे भगवान, देखो क्रोच गंधर्वा का अपने का मूल रूप का पीर प्राप्ति का करते चलते था, इसने का कभी का साथी है नहीं मिलन के, रक्षा हो भगवन। जय जय गणपति, जय गणपति, जय गणेश, जय गणपति, जय जय।
Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai Jai.
Lord Ganesh appeared, and as Lord Ganesh appeared holding the axe in his hand and holding the rope in his hand, and And as Lord Ganesh came to that place, Lord Ganesh threw his rope and tugged the rat. And the rat was knocked unconscious. And so, as the rat was knocked unconscious, Lord Ganesh captured the mouse. And capturing the mouse, holding the mouse, after some time, the mouse got up. And the mouse was now in the clutches of Lord Ganesh. Has something ever unfolded in your life and you wish it was a dream? And you wish it wasn't real? Have you ever experienced something and you wish it was just a dream, it was not real? Crouch in the arms of Lord Ganesh now.
She immediately started to beg with Shama. Started to beg with Lord Ganesh.
There is a bhajan, sing, praying and begging Lord Ganesh for forgiveness. What is it? Do you all know? We sing it all the time. Praying to Lord Ganesh, forgive us, forgive us. Pahi pahi o pahi pahi gajanena Parvati nanda gajanena.
पाहि 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 गजानना पार्वती नंदा गजानना
Pahi pahi o pahi pahi gajanena Parvati nanda gajanena.
पाहि 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 गजानना पार्वती नंदा गजानना
Crouch started to beg for forgiveness. And then Crouch narrated his entire problem to Lord Ganesh. He says, "Oh Lord Ganesh, I never asked to be a mouse. I was trapped into being a mouse. You and I say, I didn't want to be bad, and I really didn't want to say all them things, But they get me vexed. So you know what? I just say it one time. You know what? That's not the right excuse, because if you had to say it, it means that you were planning it in your mind a long time before that, and you were waiting on an opportunity. They say the drunk man, forgive him, he drunk. Don't take him on. It's when he drunk, you know all the truthful things. You know that? You find out all the secret. Anything he wanted to tell you. The quiet man becomes loud, using that the intoxicant as an excuse. Crowd started to beg, Pahi, Pahi, forgive me, O Lord Ganesh. I am begging you. I did not ask to be a mouse. I was trapped into being a mouse. And so I beg you. I'm a Gandharva. I wish to be transformed back into a Gandharva, a musician. And I want to go back to the heavens. I am begging you, O Lord Ganesh, listen to my prayer. But Krouncha was speaking with purity from his heart. Krouncha was asking genuinely. Do you know sometimes we ask and we are not genuine? Hello? Sometimes you ask and you're not genuine. Is that true? You want somebody to do something, right? But you don't have no choice again. So you have to ask them. So I take up the phone and I call. I say, Lakshmi, you just make real nice Persad. I want you to make the Persad for me. Because you just make the best Persad. And in your mind you say, I hope she make it like Lagli. In your mind you're saying, I hope she say yes. Because I can't do it. But I really don't like how she on the stage. But I don't have an option. She has to do it. Have you ever done something like that? You're in the press, don't lie. Shake your head up and down. Have you ever done something like that? Nigel, you ever did something like that? Shake your head up and down. I want to see. Yeah, up and down. Because we're all guilty of that. We eulogize people because we want them to dance to our tune. We eulogize people because we want them to do what we want them to do. So we eulogize them. We sing their praises. It says, Krouncha, he prayed genuinely to Lord Ganesh. And praying genuinely, he started to repent for his mistakes. He started to repent for his sins. And repenting for his sins, Lord Ganesh felt compassionate. Lord Ganesh says, but then Krouncha, I have an idea. I cannot take back the shrap that Lord Indra has placed, because Lord Indra placed that shrap, so I cannot remove the shrap. But I can give you a varadan. I can give you a gift. Keep close to me. Keep close to me, O Krouncha. And so wherever I will be seen, you will be seen. And when I go to the heaven, it means that you will go to the heavens with me. But you will be under my watch, under my care. And so, O Krouncha, I promise you that you will enjoy the heavens, but as a mouse, not as a Gandharva. Crouch, now being given this option, Crouch accepts the condition that is being stated to him. And so whenever we see Lord Ganesh, we see the little mouse next to him. This is the mouse that is called Crouch. The Ganesh brand says that the mouse upon which Lord Ganesh rides is not Crouch. He does not ride upon that mouse. That mouse that you see there is a celestial Gandharva. There is another mouse upon which Lord Ganesh rides, and his name is not Crouch. Who is it? Now, I tell you. Pahi pahi gajanena, Parvati nanda gajanena.
पाहि 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 गजानना पार्वती नंदा गजानना
Gajanena, gajanena,
गजानना हे गजानना
gajanena,
गजानना हे गजानना
Parvati nanda gajanena, oh Parvati nanda gajanena. Pahi pahi, oh pahi pahi gajanena, Parvati nanda gajanena.
पाहि 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 गजानना पार्वती नंदा गजानना
वेद व्यास जी उवाचा गजमुखसूर का नाम देखो और असुरा का तथा करने वाले, देखो और वर्णन का जिसमें का करण, होते का जिसमें का नहीं सकते तथा करने, नहीं सकते का तथा करने वाले। ओम गम गणपतये नमः, ओम गम गणपतये नमः, ओम गम गणपतये नमः। It tells at one time there lived an asura whose name was Gajamukhasura. And so Gajamukhasura, he had the disposition and the body of a mouse. But this was not given to him. He had requested this. He had wanted to look like a mouse. You ever wanted to look like somebody? Hello? Ever wanted to look like somebody? Ever wanted to be like somebody? Ever want something you have to be exactly what somebody else have? We are Trinidadians, and all of us, we think that way. Our eye is designed in such a way, anything we see, we want. Is that true? Shake your head up and down. I want to see you shake your head up and down. Is that true? You see this slipper, and you say, hey, where you buy that? And they say, well, I buy it Frederick Street. Which part? I can't remember. One of them stores somewhere on the side. You spend 2 days in Frederick Street, you know, because you want the same slipper. Huh? Where you get that? In the Expo, Z Expo. You go and you comb down the whole Expo. Huh? Ever went to the Expo? And you're looking for something? How is that? One evening we go just as they're about to close. And I don't like to go, I was forced into going. And we requested something from the man, a kurta. The man said, no, all is sold. And Swami went with me. Swami said, no, when I came earlier, it have plenty. The man said, no, all sold out. Because he's tired, he want to go home. Swami said, come now, let me show you where it is. Go on and open up the man thing and show him. The man said, oh, this you mean? He said, yeah, this self. I want this one. The man said, well, come back tomorrow, we're tired, going home. Swami said, I want it now. I need to wear it in the morning. You open 9 o'clock, we want it for 7 o'clock. The man says, somebody dead? Swami said, if I go home without it, I be dead. The man is forced to sell us. But he's forced. It is happening by force. This did not happen by force. Gajamukhasura, he wished to have the body of a mouse. He wished to. Why? Because he was envious of Krouncha. He was envious of Krouncha. And so being envious of Krouncha, Gajamukhasura, he prayed to the Devatas. And so he got two Varadan. The first Varadan was that he could have the roop, the form of the mouse. But his second Varadan was that he will not be killed by any weapon. So he was so intelligent that he prayed and he thought he had secured eternal life. And so praying like this, what will happen? The Gatha tells us. Pahi pahi upahi pahi gajanena Parvati nanda gajanena.
पाहि 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 गजानना पार्वती नंदा गजानना
Gajanena hi gajanena
गजानना हे गजानना
Gajanena
गजानना हे गजानना
Parvati putra gajanena Parvati nanda vinayaka Pahi pahi o pahi pahi gajanena Parvati nanda gajanena.
पाहि 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 गजानना पार्वती नंदा गजानना
जिसमें का राक्षस नाश करने वाले देखो और भगवान गणेश के लोग जिसमें का धंती का देखो और अंधकार का क्रोच जिसमें का पहले का सुंदर है काम के लिए जिसमें का रहते का मूषक का भोग नहीं अंतो देखो और की रक्षा भगवान गणपति देखो और स्मरण करने वाले ओम गम गणपतये नमः. Gajamukhasura, having the dispossession of the mouse and being blessed that no weapon could destroy him, Gajamukhasura, being blessed by the Devatas themselves, he made his way to the heavens. And so he went to the loka of Lord Ganesh and he started to provoke Krouncha. Have you ever felt provoked before? Ever felt provoked before? Hello? Have you ever provoked somebody before? You're impressed, don't lie. Shake your head up and down. You ever provoked somebody before? We use all kinds of things to provoke people, true or not? We use Facebook, we use Instagram, we use WhatsApp. We post up all kinds of pictures just to aggravate people. Huh? That's why we're doing it. We're not doing it because you like yourself, you know. You're doing it because you want to cause some kind of aggravation. True or not? Gajamukhasura made his way and Gajamukhasura started to aggravate Krouncha. He will try to fight Krouncha for his food and do all sorts of things. And Krouncha never liked the imitation. Nobody likes when somebody imitates them. Imitation brings a level of irritation. True or not? Huh? Imitation brings a level of irritation. When you see you ever go to a function and you're bouncing and you're wearing your nice clothes and as you're walking, you see somebody else wearing the same thing? How do you feel? How do you feel? Ever happened before? And then somebody walk up to you in the function and say, buy one, get one free. And they just rub the salt in the wound. Eh? They just made the wound hurt a little more. Buy one, get one free. Huh? And you are happy to go because you think you're wearing your finery, you'll look nice, you'll be outstanding, everybody will look at you. You're right, they'll be seeing you. And sometimes they'll mistake the next person for you too. Krouncha became very upset. And Krouncha drew this to the attention of Lord Ganesh. And drawing this to the attention of Lord Ganesh, one day, Lord Ganesh decided to discipline Gajamukhasura. What will he do? Listen, it tells us. Pahi pahi o pahi pahi त्रस्ता का नाश करने वाले। देखो और भगवान गणेश का अपनी एक डंडा का, जिसमें का दिया का गजामुखसूर का पार हमार करने वाले, पार हमार करने वाले। ओम गम गणपतये नमः। पाहि पाहि ओ पाहि पाहि गजानना पार्वती नंदा गजानना।
पाहि 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 गजानना पार्वती नंदा गजानना।
ओ पार्वती पुत्र गजानना।
पार्वती पुत्र गजानना।
ओ पार्वती नंदा गजानना।
पार्वती नंदा गजानना।
One day, Lord Ganesh saw Gajamukhasura, and seeing him, Lord Ganesh took one of his teeth, and so he sent it in the direction of Gajamukhasura. That is not a weapon. It is not a weapon. And sending it, Gajamukhasura, seeing it coming, he started to flee. He was afraid of death. Anybody afraid to die? Hello? Anybody afraid to die? If I could lift up my 2 foot, I'll lift it up too. Every time I go to the cremation I put that body in the chitta, I say to myself, boy, one day they'll be putting you. What you think this view up will be like? Huh? When you're home, you want to sit down on the chair and dust it out. When they put you in the chitta, sawdust falling on you. Huh? You don't want to get messed up. Your finger, or you don't even want to walk barefoot, huh? They put 5 pan of ghee on top you. You're living your whole life and you don't want to eat butter because you're afraid you get cholesterol, you go dead. Huh? But they take the ghee and they put the sandalwood and they stick it on your lip. Ever see? Whole life starving yourself and dieting and you want to look thin. I'm talking about Pandit Sunil. Huh? I could only talk from experience. And then life come to an end and you didn't enjoy nothing. Huh? You didn't enjoy nothing. And then you have to leave everything behind and go. Gajamukhasura, seeing that coming his way, he started to run. Where can you run and try to hide from death? None of us could hide from death. Do you know? All of us will die one day. The key to living a happy, eternal life is not to plan to live forever, but to leave behind a legacy that will live on long after we would have died. Long after you die, your legacy lives on. You're remembered. Your name is remembered. Your legacy is remembered. Gajamukhasura begins to run. And as he begins to run, what will happen? Lord Ganesh knows how to catch the mouse. He has captured one already. So he knows. Your experiences teach you how to be prepared. Your experiences teach you how to expect the unexpected. Your experience prepares you, makes you stronger, make you more equipped. True or not? He already knows how to catch the mouse because he caught one before. And so he throws his rope and catching hold of the mouse. What will happen? Listen, it tells us. Moria re, Bappa Moria re.
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 Oh Moria re, Bappa Moria re.
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 his rope, his noose, he captures Gajamukhasura, and dragging Gajamukhasura in front of him, Gajamukhasura tries to free himself, and moving to and fro, Lord Ganesh takes his foot and rests it on the back of Gajamukhasura, and Gajamukhasura begins to cry. He begins to scream because the weight is so much that he can't bear it. Somebody ever mash you before? Somebody ever? The old people used to say, you know what they used to say? It's never a good thing to take your foot and touch nobody. Have you ever heard that before? Huh? Ever hear that before? It is never a good thing to take your foot and touch your books. It is never a good thing to take your foot and touch the musical instruments. It is never a good thing to take your foot and touch the broom. But you see, you would never listen to that. So they make up something to tell you so that they'll make sure you don't sweep your foot. If you sweep your foot, you wouldn't get. Huh? But it's a pap, it is a sin to allow your foot to touch the broom. It is not that if you sweep your foot, you wouldn't get married. It is a pap, it is a sin to eat from the vessel that you're cooking the food in. That's why they say that if you eat from the pot when you're getting married, what will happen? You will have a storm. Because if they tell you, don't do it, you will want to know, well, why? You will never follow the instruction. Well, why? Tell me why. I want to know why. It is a mahapap to eat from the vessel that you're preparing the food from, because then all the food becomes juta. And so you never want to give juta food, because when a guest comes to your home, the guest is a Titi Devo Bhava. Chances are the guest might be Bhagwan, God coming, and you do not want to give the juta food to God. Huh? And that's why you don't eat in the pot. It's not that rain will come when you're getting married. Chances are rain will come anyway. Huh? When you see the rain, they say, hey, Dulahin, you eat the whole pot. You didn't eat in the pot, you eat the whole pot. Huh? Because there is a storm. These things are considered to be a pap, a sin. And you know which book tells us about these sins? The Garud Puran. The Garud Puran narrates these sins and these sinful actions that we perform unknowingly. And the Garud Puran says that they are atonement, they are things that you can do to erase these sins that you have committed unknowingly. We listen to that in the Garud Puran. But it says, Gajamukhasura begins to cry because of the weight. And he begins to cry in his loud way. And Lord Ganesha is squeezing him because he's crying and feeling pain. Lord Ganesha feels compassion to him. You ever decide to do somebody some wickedness? And while you're doing the wickedness, you say, you know what? Mother, hide the cell phone. And the child searching down the whole house. Huh? Everywhere looking down. And then eventually, you who hide the cell phone, go and bring it and say, hey, look it before you're dead. Look the phone. Huh? Before you faint away, look the phone. You tell the child, you can't go and you're not going. And then the child crying 2 little crocodile tears. And you say, all right, go, but I'll pick you up back in 1 hour. You're only going for 1 hour. The child says, I catch she. I caught her. It's as though Gajamukhasura has caught Lord Ganesh, but it is a genuine catch. And so as Gajamukhasura is now freed from the squeeze of Lord Ganesh. Gajamukhasura says, please, I don't want to die. I'll do anything you want me to do. Lord Ganesh says, well, I want a vahan. I want a vehicle. I will use you, O Gajamukhasura, as my vehicle. Since you resemble Krouncha and everything else, I will use you as my vahan. Gajamukhasura begins to cry and he says, if your foot nearly kill me, then imagine if you sit on me, what will happen? Mar gaya, I'll die for sure. And Lord Ganesh says, don't you wanted to live in the heaven? Well, when you're dead, where you'll go? Huh? Where you'll go? Everybody here, if you ask them, where you want to go when you're dead? Everybody say, where you want to go? Where you want to go? Well, I have a problem with that, you know. I don't want to dead in the first place. While you want to go heaven, I don't want to dead in the first place. They will tell you that when they're eating something new or drinking something new, or there is some new experience, I say, oh, let's try it now. They say, why? They say, what are you afraid of? I say, I am afraid, you know. I know to do funeral. Just in case all of that, I'm alive. I know what to do. But if I dead, I don't know where all you go do. So let me make sure that you all survive. You all survive it. Gajamukhasura says, oh Lord Ganesh, What bad karma have I incurred for you to sit on me and squeeze me all the time? And Lord Ganesha says, Gajamukhasura, this is what you wished for. Not everything you wish for will affect you in a positive way. Do you know? Do you know? The things that you pray the most for are the things that cause the biggest headache in your life. True or not? I want a big house. I want a big fancy house. Huh? And when you see the fancy pipe break inside the fancy wall, you know what happened? When you see the fancy ceiling get a leak from the roof and all the gypsum start to fall down, boop, boop, boop inside of there. You say, oh God, I should have get a 1-bedroom something, huh? I should have never built this big house. Mother and father building house because they have 6 children. I have news to you, you have 6 children who are going in 6 different houses. You end up with 7 rooms and you alone have to live in it. Huh? 1 room you only have curtain. 1 room you only have wash clothes, roll up like bhaji on a bed. And you're doing all kind of things to use up the space that you have because you create space, huh? Space because you have plenty children. Huh? We make children, but we don't make their destiny and their mind. Huh? You try to mold it and guide them in a certain way, but you know in 2022 what happened? Huh? You know what happened? The children think, well, you know, my mother and father old-fashioned. They don't know nothing. They don't know nothing too much. Rena called me and she said, I want you to put the wedding date. I want to get married. I said, excuse me? You calling me to tell me you want to get married? Who are you going to get married to? Well, I'm going to get married to one of your cousins. His name is Seetahal too. I said, I know you wanted your name to be Seetahal all this time, you know. I said, but I have a problem. You and that Seetahal fella didn't fall from the sky. You have a mother and you have a father, both of you. I am not going to put no wedding date for nobody who call me without knowing if their mother and father approve. Tell the parents, see me. And only when the parents agree that we're going to have a wedding, we're going to have a wedding. Because there are many children who deprive their parents from having that joy of getting them married. And that's one of the greatest joys that a parent could experience. Because they brought you into the world and they nurtured you into what you are. And they molded you. And they supported you. And they protected you. And then you find a girl who fall from nowhere and then you know you fall down too. Huh? And ma over love she. She say how we ain't go do no 3 days thing. We go only do a 1-day thing, ma. Ma, but you know we had to do what she say. And you don't have to do what your daughter-in-law say. And she's not even your daughter-in-law. You better dust she out 1 time. Put she under the carpet 1 time. Because if you put her on the carpet, chances are you'll be out the door. Because while you have the authority, you have to express and let them know I'm the parent and I'm in charge. And the only day I'm not in charge is when Jayabe and Kayla am dead. But while I'm alive, I'm the parent and I will always be the parent and always remember that. Always remember that. In the eyesight of mother and father, their children will always remain children, you know that? In the eyesight of mother and father, their children will always be their prized possession. Do you know that? Shake your head up and down. Fathers love their daughters. Is that true? Mothers love their sons. Huh? Father just love the daughter, Mother love the son. 2 o'clock in the morning, she making dal pari. Because he hungry, huh? Grilled cheese for the daughter because she could make anything she want. And dal pari for the son. And instead of molding your son into a devata, you're molding him into... There's some sons don't know a single thing. They know it have a thing called a washing machine. Ask them to put it on. They know it have a thing called a microwave. They don't know how to use it. Somebody said to me recently, if I take out the food for myself, I can't eat it. Don't taste good. In my mind, I say, well, if you were living in my house, you're starved. Because the rule is, we cook the food. You could take any amount you want. Help yourself. And the law is, when you go to the sink with your plate, wash it. And if you see 10 other plates there, wash it. And if you're smart enough, eat first. So you wouldn't have to wash nobody else. But there is a rule. There is a rule. And we were brought up with that kind of culture. So anywhere we go, we take that culture with us. We know it is embedded in us. They will tell you, I don't say I'm the pundit. If wares is being washed, I go by the sink and I wash the wares. If sweeping is happening, I go and I sweep. If something is happening and I can't do it, I go and I do it. I don't say I'm the pundit and bow by my foot. Because the leader has to lead by example. Gajamukhasura decides to run, but where will he go? He's caught. A day will come when we will all be caught. A day will come when whatever you are trying to hide will always come to light. And it's a fact, it is the truth. Live your life in such a way that it will be an open book. Nothing for anybody to talk about. And so Gajamukhasura, he bowed to Lord Ganesh and he says, oh Lord Ganesh, free me, I'm begging you. And Lord Ganesh says, no, you are my Vahan. Gajamukhasura begins to beg. He says, Lord Ganesh, I can't take the weight. I can't take the weight. Lord Ganesh says, you want it to be crouch? Well, this was crouch job. Now you'll have to do what crouch was supposed to do. You know how much times you look at a husband and a wife and you're jealous, you're envious. You say, I want a husband just like he. Huh? You really don't know, you know. You really don't know. Because when they're outside, they're holding hand and kuchi, you know. When they're home, it's Mahabharat war, you know. He's sleeping on the couch and she's sleeping on the roof. And it's a whole different story. Huh? And you say, well, I want a relationship, just be careful what you're praying for, you know. I want a relationship just like that. And they don't talk to one another. When they're outside, he said, honey, you want some more chana? And she said, no, babes, I don't want. In her mind, she said, you might put poison and kill me. And you say, oh God, if I ask my husband to bring a water for me, he say, get up, you have 2 foot, go get it yourself. Huh? And you say, oh God, look how she husband loves she and watch how minds is treat me. Huh? When you think that your story bad, there are people whose story worse than yours. But you know, they like to polish up everything, you know. Out in the public, everything nice. The minute you say something, they say, don't hang your dirty linen out in the public. Nobody should see a dirty linen. You have to hide it under your bed. Huh? I don't know about you. I don't pretend nothing. You get me vexed and I tell you about it. You upset me, you anger me, I tell you about it. You vex, well, you don't vex already. You can't get vexed twice, huh? But I want to be free. My conscience must be clear. And so Gajamukhasura says, Lord Ganesha, I'm begging you, forgive me. Forgive me. And Lord Ganesha's heart begins to melt, but he says, Gajamukhasura, you will be my Vahan. You will be my Vahan. And I promise you that every time I sit on you, you will repent for the sins and the wrong wishes that you have wished for. And by repenting, every time I sit on you, in your next birth, you'll get mukti, salvation. You'll never have to come back. Gajamukhasura, hearing this, Gajamukhasura feels tormented, but this is what he had wished for. Tonight, the moral of the Katha is, be careful what you... Ganesha Bhagwan ki jai, Satya Sanatan Dharma ki jai. Panditji is about to perform the Havan. It will be remiss of me if I don't invite Rana and Susan to the stage. Please come, sing for us this evening while the Havan is happening. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Pahi 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 Gajanena Parvati Nanda Gajanena. Gajanena, he Gajanena. Gajanena, he Gajanena. Parvati Nanda Gajanena. Oh, Parvati Nanda Gajanena. Pahi 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 Gajanena. Parvati Nanda Gajanena. Pahi Pahi
Sagabadani daba gapadani dasa pani sagarani sani daba gabadani sani daba gabadani daba gadapa gapadari gadini गाइए गणपति जगवंदन 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 गाइए गणपति गणपति जगवंदन गाइए गणपति जगवंदन गाइए गणपति जगवंदन गाइए गणपति जगवंदन शंकर सुवन भवानी नंदन शंकर सुवन भवानी नंदन गाइए गणपति जगवंदन गाइए गणपति जगवंदन सिद्धि सदन गजवदन विनायक आ सिद्धि सदन गजवदन विनायक सिद्धि सदन गजवदन विनायक कृपा सिंधु सुंदर सब नायक कृपा सिंधु सुंदर सब नायक गाइए गणपति जगवंदन गाइए गणपति जगवंदन गभजनि धनि धनि निधनि दप 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 रे गपदनि दप गा निधनि 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 पदद पदद पद पदद पद गपदनि दनि धनि धनि दप गपदनि धनि दप गपदनि दप गपदनि 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 मोदक प्रिय मुध मंगल दाता मोदक प्रिय मुध मंगल दाता विद्यावारिधि बुद्धि विदाता विद्यावारिधि बुद्धि विदाता गाइए गणपति जगवंदन गाइए गणपति जगवंदन शंकर सुवन भवानी नंदन शंकर सुवन भवानी नंदन गाइए गणपति जगवंदन गाइए गणपति जगवंदन गणपति जगवंदन गणपति जगवंदन सरे गरे प गब गब दब गब द द स पद पद रे पद सरे गरे गरे द स पशुपति तनया बाल गजानन
पशुपति
पशुपति तनया बाल गजानन तुमहो विघ्न विनाशक गणेशा पशुपति तनया बाल गजानन तुमहो विघ्न विनाश गणेशा हे शिवनंदन बाल गजानन विद्या गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्ट विनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया
ओम गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्ट विनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाप्पा मोरया
ओम गम गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्ट विनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया
ओम गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्ट विनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाप्पा मोरया
ओम गम गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्ट विनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया
ओम गणपतये नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि
This evening, this has brought us to the end of our devotions. We want to remind you that tomorrow morning we'll be here from 9 o'clock as we perform the 1,000 names of Lord Ganesh as we do annually. Our murtis of Lord Ganesh will be submerged on the morning of the 9th, but the evening of the 9th we'll be back here in Palmiste Park for the first of 7 nights of Garuprani Yajna. So you're invited to come and join with us. When you're coming, I want you to bring somebody with you and let us all receive the blessings of Lord Ganesh in a very special way. The Ganesh Puran has many beautiful, interesting kathas. And so we would listen to many more beautiful kathas emanating out of this beautiful text. This evening I want to say a special thank you to Rana ji and Susan ji for gracing the Yajna and your son and daughter. I want to say thank you for coming. And so it is always a pleasure for us to have you. It is our blessing. And so we want to say thank you and blessings to you now and always. This evening we will also be greeted by the beautiful singing of Abhijit and members of his crew who will lead us in bhajans after the Aarti. But this evening as we prepare our minds and our souls to wave the Aarti, let us all stand. And so as we wave the Aarti this evening, we pray to Lord Ganesh, may you bless the souls of our Pitras wherever they are. We ask, O Lord Ganapati, may you ward away all obstacles, problems, challenges and situations in their pathway. And so, it is our wish, it is our guide, that if their souls are in bondage and in suffering, may you grant unto those souls mukti, salvation. Listen to our prayer. Shubham karotu kalyanam, arogyam sukhasam param, mama shatru vinashaya, deepajotir namostute, yani kani japapani jamvantargadani shratani tani prakshana prakshana prade prade. Gam Ganapataye Namah. Jai Krishna Hare, Shri Krishna Hare, Dukhiyon ko dukh dur kare. Jai 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 Krishna Hare. Jai Krishna Hare, Shri Krishna Hare, Dukhiyon ko dukh dur kare. जब चांद तरफ अंधियारा हो, आशा का दूर किनारा हो। जब चार तरफ अंधियारा हो, आशा का दूर किनारा हो। और कोई न केवल हारा हो, फिर तू Jai 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 Krishna Hare, Jai Krishna Hare, Krishna Hare, Dukhiyon ko dukh dur kare. Jai Jai तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे, विष को भी अमृत कर दे। तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे, विष को भी अमृत कर दे। पूरन करने सबकी आशा, Jai Krishna Hare, Shri Krishna में तरस रहा, तेरा नाम भी माला जपते रहो। तेरा दर्शन को मैं तरस रहा, तेरा नाम भी माला जपते रहो। बहु सागर में तेरी नैया, बहु सागर में तेरी नैया, चन में जाए किनार हो, तेरे चन में जाए किनार हो। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, sing with me everybody, जय कृष्ण हरे, श्री कृष्ण हरे, दुखियों को दुख दूर करे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे। अच्युतं केशवं रामनारायणं कृष्णदामोदरं वासुदेवं हरे। श्रीधरं माधवं गोपिकावल्लभं, श्रीधरं माधवं गोपिकावल्लभं, जानकी नायकं रामचन्द्र भजे, जानकी नायकं रामचन्द्र भजे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे। अच्युतं केशवं रामनारायणं कृष्णदामोदरं वासुदेवं हरे। श्रीधरं माधवं गोपिकावल्लभं, जानकी नायकं रामचन्द्र भजे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। असतो मा सत्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मामृतं गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय। मंत्रहीनं क्रियाहीनं भक्तिहीनं जनाधरं यत्पूजितं मया देव परिपूर्णं तरस्मि। त्वमेव माताश्च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सन्तोषसे का त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव पाहि 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 गजानना पार्वती नंदा गजानना पाहि 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 गजान. Forgive us, O Lord Ganesh, for the sins that we have committed knowingly and unknowingly. We pray to you, remembering our mother, remembering our father, remembering our friends, remembering those around us, O Lord Ganesh, remembering the plants and the animals. O Lord Ganesh, may you shine through us to the world around us. O Ganesha, as the world sings your praises, we bow to you in humble adoration. Bless the souls of our victors, we beg of you. O Lord Ganesh, O remove of all obstacles, bestow of all successes. We offer our petitions at your feet. Listen to our prayer, listen to our prayer. Shower your grace upon us, O Lord Ganesh. We beg of you, we beg of you. Listen to our prayer. Gajanina he, Gajanina, Gajanina he, Gajanina he, Gajanina. पार्वती पुत्र गजानना ओ पार्वती पुत्र गजानना पार्वती नंद विनायका पार्वती नंद विनायका पाहि 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 गजानना पार्वती नंदा गजानना
पाहि पाहि पार्वती नंदा गजानना.
ओम शांति ओम शांति everybody ओम शांति ओम शांति ये ध्वनि मंगल ध्वनि ओम शांति बड़ा ही सुख का ये मंत्र मनहर ओम शांति ओम शांति ओम with all your love. Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Seetaram Seetarama Seetaram Kahe Jahi Behira Ke Rama Jahi Behira Ke Rama Kahe Behira Ke Seetaram Seetarama Seetaram Seetarama Ganapati Bappa Satya Sanatana Dharma ki Seetaram Seetarama. Asan par बैठे, let us all please be seated.